Hello, lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today I am going to walk you through an interpretation of the Five of Cups. So the way in which I'm going to do this, I am going to give you a kind of traditional meaning real quick, and then I'm actually going to channel meanings of the Five of Cups based off of three different tarot decks interpretations as far as their artwork goes. So I always include the Rider-Waite Tarot, but we're also going to use the Radiant Wilds Tarot and the Tarot of Oneness today. I'm looking for a channeled interpretation that helps me awaken to a new understanding and a new depth of the card itself. Another reason why I want to channel interpretations in this way is because I want to kind of give an example of the fact that every single tarot reader is going to interpret the cards in their own unique way. And whether or not you understand the card in its traditional meaning as in depth as you think you should, you can interpret the card in a way that no one else can. So yeah, I just want to give like an example of that because this is going to be kind of my own unique channeling and interpretation. But yeah, so the traditional meaning of the Five of Cups is about disappointment. It's about despair. It's about kind of like dwelling in the past or feeling, it's kind of, it gives me this feeling of being disappointed with how things have turned out in your life or being disappointed with the situation. Like the energy and essence of it traditionally is like disappointment. I'm disappointed. And that could range from like a lighthearted, I don't know if there's a lighthearted disappointment, but it's kind of like a lighter disappointment, like, oh man, I wish that would have went a little different, to like a deep, like regret, a deep sorrow for where your life has turned out or how something went in a relationship, or just like a deep feeling of disappointment and sadness that things aren't how you want them to be, basically. So that's the kind of original meaning of it. But let's go ahead and get into the interpretations of the cards themselves. So the first card I'm going to interpret for you is the one from the Radiant Wilds Tarot deck. This tarot deck is gorgeous. You can get it on Amazon. It is very like celestial, but also very grounded at the same time. It has a lot of kind of like spheres and orbs, and it's very deserty, very dry, but also it like packs a punch. It feels like it has power to it, and it's more like rooty colors. Like it's like red, yellow, pink, orange. It's like lower chakra energy, so it does still feel very grounded, even though it's also very celestial. Yeah, beautiful deck if you want to check it out. But yeah, so the Five of Cups card in that deck is okay. So we've got a very colorful landscape and a very kind of dark spirit, because it really feels like, okay, I'm actually getting this feeling of, it looks like there's, like with the weird hangy thing down below, it looks like a door opening, like a dark door opening, and it's almost like a dark door has opened in the middle of this beautiful landscape. Still a little desolate. I don't know though, there are flowers here. It's like as lush as it could be as far as the desert goes. There are flowers, there's a little green, but it's almost like the door opened and this dark spirit kind of rose. It almost is giving me this feeling of like a teacher. So disappointment can be a really big teacher. It can teach you a lot about yourself, what you really want, and what really matters to you. So if you're completely disappointed by, there's a hummingbird right up there, so I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but it just perched itself on a little branch there, and a dragonfly, and a duck. Anyway, flying things. But in this little guy, this spirit is kind of floating, not flying, but it's giving me this vibe of like a dark teacher. So a part of life you have to walk through, like we all walk through if you're not like a narcissist or a sociopath. But it's that feeling of regret, of disappointment, of sadness there, of like how things turned out. And that space can be a deep teacher for you if you let it. if you really fully sit with it and you sit with your disappointment and you honor yourself no matter what, where you're at, even if it's like rock bottom or a low point. Yeah, it's letting that space teach you more about yourself and your true desires, and letting it transform you and moving forward from that space with a higher awareness of where you actually want to be and who you want to be. So I'm going to stick with that for that. Next, I'm going to do the Rider-Waite interpretation. And for this, very similar. It is a black cloak. So I kind of like that, actually. That's interesting. And then we've got 2 upright cups behind the guy or girl and 3 spilled cups in front of him. And so it's kind of this feeling of not all is lost, but the way he's kind of lamenting or looking down at the spilled cups and being upset. And then in the background across this river, there's it looks like ruins of an old castle. So, and that is giving me like the past, dwelling on like something that's crumbled, something that's should be left in the past. And this is giving me a little bit more of a feeling of like being stuck on it. So sometimes, especially maybe if it's reversed, it's like a little bit more deep where you're stagnant within it and where you're just like not allowing yourself to move forward, or you're holding yourself back because of the disappointment. And it's almost giving me an energy of victimization. So I would say 5 of Cups could veer into victimization. But the 2 cups that are upright there is always an element of hope to the card, because there is always something that you can look around and be grateful for. And I think that's like the message of the card. It's like, look around, be grateful for the cups you do have. And that's going to be the thing that helps to lift you out of this space. And that's kind of reminds me of the previous card I channeled, like with the teacher, the dark teacher. It's kind of like, be in this space, but be aware of the hope within it. Be aware of the message within it, the teaching within it. Look back at those cups, be grateful, but also look at the disappointment. Be with the disappointment. It's a part of life. It's a part of being human. Let it teach you and move on. But yeah, so, and then I like how there is a bridge over water in the background as well. And it's a very solid bridge. It's bright white. It's the lightest part of this card. And it is something that can carry you on to the next phase of your life. So there is a bridge there. There's a way out kind of energy. So that's what I'm getting from the Rider-Waite version. Next, we're going to do the 5 of Cups in the Tarot of Oneness. The Tarot of Oneness deck is gorgeous. It's one of my favorites. I had my mom buy it for me for Christmas last year. And just absolutely beautiful. I got it on Etsy, so if you want to look it up, you can. It's just full of life and color, and it's very intimate and very human. And a lot of the cards are like, what do you call it? Like first person perspective. So it's like if there's hands in it, it's like your hands. You know, it's very alive. It has life to it. It's beautiful. So that deck is awesome. And this 5 of Cups card is very evocative of the meaning of the 5 of Cups. It is rain on a window pane. It's not being able to see clearly because of the rain on the window pane. You're trying to look out a window, you're trying to find hope, but this rain is there, so you can't see clearly. But rain is also very cleansing. So with this card in particular, I am getting that cleansing energy. Kind of like I mentioned with the dark teacher, it's this feeling of the rain coming into. It's also giving me a vibe of tears. Oh my gosh. Is someone here? Okay, just let me get back in the zone. Whew, okay. So I just had to pause the video because my dad showed up. I'm at his lake lot, so it was to be expected. And weirdly enough, we are talking about the 5 of Cups, and I just had to talk him out of a 5 of Cups energy. Like, I just like that. I had to bring that little, I was talking about before, the little bit of hope and the 2 cups that are left and not being able to see it. Literally, that was my dad. The Rider-Waite 5 of Cups, that was my dad just now. And I had to show him, like, hey, look at these 2 cups. Focus on these 2 cups. So that was interesting. But yeah, so I don't really remember where I left off. But yeah, with the, it's kind of giving the Tarot of Oneness card is giving a feeling of, yeah, not being able to see your blessings because you're so enmeshed in your disappointment, and what didn't go right, you know. And it's I think overall what I want to say about the 5 of Cups is it's okay to be in this space, you know. It's like flagellating yourself for being in a 5 of Cups state is not going to get you out of the 5 of Cups state. Honoring the fact that you feel disappointed, honoring the fact that you are sad about a loss or sad about something that happened in your past or sad just about the way things have turned out, like that's inherent in the message of the 5 of Cups as well. Honor where you're at. Just notice and find balance within it of where am I dwelling on it, where am I feeling too attached or too stuck in the space, and where do I need to look at and be grateful for the things I do have, where do I need to find that hope and find that way out, find that bridge to cross to get out of that space. You know, there is a balance there, you know, because this is a part of the human experience: disappointment, sadness, loss, and I think it's a part of the human experience that can teach you and has space to teach you. Yeah, so my channeled interpretation would be, loss is a part of the human experience. You cannot make it through this life unless you die extremely young without experiencing this state of being. And it's what you do with this state of being, how you let it teach you, how you let it serve you, and what you take from it, and how you move forward from it that defines who you are. Do you let it make you lose faith and move forward in your life by taking actions based on a loss of faith? Or do you let it teach you more about who you are, what you really want, what you really deserve? And do you let it spark that light and that hope inside of you that brings you into a state that wants to pursue the beautiful things in life, that wants to put in effort to find the beauty in your life as it is, and to be grateful for the amazing things that are all around you, even when you can't see them. Yeah, so I like to find hope in all the cards, if possible. So that's kind of my little message of hope for the 5 of Cups. I think that's it on the 5 of Cups. I hope this video was resonant and served you in some way. If you want to support me, you can I like to ask people to, if you have your own unique interpretation of the 5 of Cups, or if anything came to you during this reading or is coming to you right now, if you want to put that interpretation in the comments, it would be really cool to have a bunch of different interpretations in the comments if possible. Also, you can like this video or subscribe to my channel. I also have some really cute merchandise. It is my bee logo with flowers all around it, that was created by an artist in Ukraine, and it also has the phrase "Hello, lovely humans." So the merchandise is super cute if you want to check that out. You can also check out my Infinite Prayer Reiki sessions. Those are energy healing sessions that are branched off of my readings, my pick a card readings. So even if you don't watch the reading, if you feel called to a session, feel free to do that. There are some free sessions on my YouTube channel if you want to try them for free at first, just to kind of feel it out, see if it's for you. But otherwise, let's see, did I cover everything? Keep an eye out for my Patreon that is coming. I'm in the process of building that. So maybe by the time you watch this video, it's actually up. So keep an eye out for that if you'd like to be a part of that. But otherwise, yeah, thank you so much for your presence. Bye.